Okay, wait, let me just put you down so I can explain what I heard about Oedipus in Thebes. Okay, so you know how Thebes is suffering from plague and famine and all these horrible things have been happening in Thebes, right? Well, the priests all turned around and went to Oedipus, their king, and they were like, please help us because you helped save the city from the Sphinx many years ago when you solved the Sphinx's riddle and then we made you king, right? So they're using that and they're going, you know, you did this before, save us now. And Oedipus is like, don't worry, I've got this. So he sends his brother-in-law, Creon, to go consult the oracle and come back with information. Creon then comes back from the oracle of Apollo with this message, right? That the plague will be gone if King Laius, right, the king before Oedipus, his murderer actually, is found and punished, right? Oedipus is like, don't worry, I got it sorted. He curses this killer out and he's like, yep, done, we're going to save the city, right? So Oedipus then calls over the prophet Tiresias. Remember him? He's all blind. Anyhow, they start talking and Oedipus is pushing and pushing and pushing for information, pushing for more guidance, right? And Tiresias is like, don't really want to borrow this, don't really want to get involved. But then after a little bit, says, actually, Oedipus, you're the murderer. Oedipus loses it. And then he accuses Creon, the brother-in-law, Tiresias, the blind prophet, of conspiring against him together. He really burned some bridges after that moment. Jocasta comes in, Oedipus's wife, Queen Jocasta, and she comes in and she's like, don't even worry about these prophecies. Don't worry about it because I got a prophecy with Laius. She is Laius's previous wife. And she's like, don't worry about it because when I was with Laius and I was pregnant, we were told that our baby was going to be the one to kill Laius. Following? But she's like, no. Laius was killed by strangers. Okay? Laius was killed by strangers. He wasn't killed by the baby. Then Oedipus starts talking about a prophecy he heard. Right? So, Oedipus is from Corinth. Okay? He was a prince there. And when he was there, he started picking up on the little talks that he maybe wasn't his father's son. And then he gets a prophecy that he is doomed to kill his dad and marry his mum. So understandably, man freaks out. And he leaves Corinth and he's like, nah, see ya, I'm going to put so much distance between my father, my mother, and me so that none of this prophecy happens. And on the way, okay, after leaving Corinth, he goes to a crossroads, okay? At that crossroads, he fought and killed several men, okay? So he starts getting anxious when he hears where Laius is killed. Guess. Yes, a crossroads, okay? But then he's a bit sus. He's like, no, something's not up. You know, I'm not really getting the full picture. We'll leave it at that. Oedipus then gets a visit from a messenger who tells him King Polybus, his father from Corinth, remember, the king, has died. And Oedipus is this mix of, oh no, my father's dead, you know, the typical grief, but then the other part of him's like, oh, okay, cool, I didn't kill him like the prophecy said. So he's relaxed, but then he gets a bit worried about his mum. He's like, we're not fully, you know, out of the danger zone yet because his mum's still alive and there's still that second part of the prophecy. But then the messenger from Corinth is like, hold up, but you were adopted. Plot twist. You were adopted. You were found in the mountains as a baby and I brought you to the king. Well, then they're like, we must verify this information. Where is the shepherd that found me on that mountain? Shepherd comes in. He doesn't really want to talk about it, but he talks about it. Shepherd reveals, yes, actually, you are the baby that Jocasta and Laius tried to kill to avoid the prophecy that they received. Remember the one I mentioned just before, right? The one where the baby was going to kill King Laius. Are all the puzzle pieces coming together now? So, to reiterate, to sort of simplify. Oedipus is Jocasta, his wife's baby. Jocasta and Laius's baby, who they tried to kill, okay, to avoid the prophecy by tying up his ankles, sending him off into the mountains, and letting nature do its thing. However, the shepherd intervened, and he's like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't let this happen. He gives it to another person who is the messenger from Corinth, then given to the royal family. Royal family adopts him, but doesn't say anything that he's adopted. Okay? So, the prophecy of Jocasta and Laius's son killing Laius, Oedipus killed Laius. Oedipus' prophecy that he receives of you're going to kill your father and marry your mother, both become true. Both happened. Oedipus is beside himself, as you would imagine you would be in that scenario. Jocasta also beside herself, and she, in her very mixed emotions of finding out this information, ends her life. Oedipus is then called over, he finds her, and he blinds himself in how he's feeling. Okay, in his grief, in his despair, in his shame, in his guilt. Creon, remember Creon, brother-in-law? Technically, uncle. He starts becoming the leader, and Oedipus asks to be exiled out of Thebes. And Creon thinks about it and goes, yep, you know what? You can go. You can leave. All right, spend the rest of your days blind and exiled. Yeah. So that's what happened in Thebes. Plague's gone, though. But yeah, Oedipus. Yeah, but he suffered.
So, I hope you liked this episode of Spilling the Tea, where we talk about our texts in VCE English and in Year 7 to 10 English in a little bit more of an accessible way, in a gossipy way, okay? Because at the end of the day, if we view these texts as if it's goss, hopefully it becomes more interesting, especially for those of you who are not a huge fan of the subject. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what other texts you'd want. There's some few more Year 12 ones coming as well, though. Good luck. Enjoy.